I have a friend who works for the FBI, and I asked him how to deal with the online harassment that I get from a certain subreddit, from Kiwi farms, from places like that. And he told me the only way to fight that stuff back is to expose those people for what they really are. So that's what this video is. I'm going to show you some receipts that I think you should see. First off, if you watch my channel, you've probably been recommended one of these videos exposing me. And man, there's a lot of stuff in this that is very fair criticism. I've said and done some really stupid stuff in my 14 years on YouTube, my 10 years on Twitch. I mean, I've said and done some really indefensible stuff. But one of the major themes of all of these videos is that I'm a lying manipulator, that I've lied to my audience, that I've manipulated you guys, that the abuse I went through isn't true, or that the suicidal impulses that I talk about feeling, those aren't true. I don't actually have any mental disorders. And then I lie about all of this stuff to try to manipulate my audience, I guess to make money or something along that lines. And all of those rumors come from one place only, and that's a known hate subreddit. That hate subreddit is Sam and Tolkien. And if you've ever heard of a mega thread, this is that mega thread. And this is where this place is hosted. This is the people who put that stuff together. So let's talk a little bit about those people. I want to show you how all of this started. Back in 2015 on my subreddit, the owner of this particular subreddit posted this about me, saying that I wasn't serious about my weight loss, that I never have been, that I'm full of excuses, that I'm lying all the time, that I'm lying about my suicidal tendencies, and that those are gross exaggerations, and how I possibly couldn't have suicidal thoughts back when, because I had a beautiful wife, because I make 6 figures a year. I cropped out his name, I put this on Twitter, and I started a war. This guy has been coming at me for 5 years because I dared rebuke his bullshit. That's the guy who owns the subreddit that you're getting your information from. That's where that mega thread lives. And I'm going to show you some fairly choice stuff from that subreddit. But they are deleting stuff left and right now because they knew today was coming. They knew I was making this video. So they're trying to cover their tracks. But I will link to stuff like this medium here, which goes on to show that before I ever was part of their attention, they were sexist and ableist and homophobic, making fun of speedrunners because they were trans, because they were homosexual, because of the way they looked. I mean, yeah, this place basically went from a speedrun saga website to just an overall harassment website. They have openly mocked and attacked speedrunners for as long as they can for some of the most petty and horrible and stupid and disgusting reasons. Before I do this, I want to make sure it's very clear that I don't expect this to negate anything I've said or done wrong. But I want you to consider the source when it comes to some of this stuff, and I tell you that some of this stuff isn't true. These are known liars, known manipulators, known gaslighters. They've been doing it for years, and they've been doing it to me. So when you take a look at what actual internet bullies these people are, I hope that you will learn to believe my word over mine, because I will absolutely own my actual mistakes, and we will talk about those in this video and further videos coming along. But for now, let me show you what bullies these people actually are. And what you can find there right now isn't even that bad compared to some of the other stuff they posted. They're cleaning house. I highly recommend you go look at an archive of that subreddit to see some of the more toxic stuff, because the stuff that's there now is stuff they decided it's okay to leave up. They also attack literally anybody that I work with. Here's Andy Senor, who wanted to have me on his podcast tonight. Here they are tearing him a brand new hole for daring having worked with me. When I get a sponsor for the channel, they letter bomb those sponsors until that sponsor is worried about whether or not they should work with me. Now, the good news is my sponsors pretty much always take my side, but that doesn't mean they don't actively try to destroy anybody that I work with, a sponsor that I work with. I mean, this is disgusting and abhorrent behavior. They keep creating accounts like this. When I block them, they just make more and more and more. And when they can't interact with me, they interact with people who work with me and fans and attack them and mock them and call them every name in the book just for the sake of trying to discredit me. And some of these people will spend an hour or two every day doing this stuff. And not just for like a week, not for a month, but this subreddit has been actively attacking me and going through everything I've ever said and ever done on the internet For the last 3 years, they spend hundreds of man hours every day amongst them looking for any little mistake I've ever made, anything that I could say or do. And I don't think you can trust somebody who's that possessed, that's obsessed with something like that. I mean, I don't like Jake Paul, but I'm not tweeting at Jake Paul 100 times a day. I'm not investigating Jake Paul looking for every little twist and turn. Someone who does something like that is most likely not to be trusted. And this subreddit has been doing that for 3 years, spending hundreds of man hours for 3 years. I mean, it speaks of real mental imbalance, and that's coming from somebody who should know. And when you take a look at this mega thread, I want you to really look at it because it's so hypocritical and so full of BS that only a moron would fall for a lot of the stuff that's in this. And I'm not talking about the actual mistakes I've made because anyone's going to see that stuff. But take this, for example, right here where it says, contrary to what he claims, Boogie is not being accused of being a pedophile. But from there, all you have to do is scroll down the page to where they link to a clip and give it a false context saying Boogie doesn't want to have kids for fear of molesting them. That's what a pedophile does. A pedophile molests kids. You're accusing me of being a pedophile after saying that's not what you're doing, idiots. Back to the top of the page where it says, contrary to what he claims, Boogie is not being accused of being a wife beater. Scroll down the page and here's this section where supposedly I made my wife sign an NDA. And they give it again false context saying that NDAs are signed when there are things to hide, which explains why Dez has been awfully quiet on the relationship or any psychological, not physical, abusive behavior towards her. And yes, I get that you're saying not a wife beater, but you're still accusing me of being emotionally abusive or any other type of abuse. You're being hypocritical. You can't trust those types of hypocrites. And by the way, my ex-wife never signed an NDA, and here she is on her own Twitter account claiming that she never signed an NDA. She can say whatever she wants. Why is this not in the mega thread? Why did they not take that section down off the mega thread once they were proven to be wrong? Because they know you'll never find this stuff. They know that you will believe the lie, and they'll give it even more false context. I've heard them saying stuff like, I paid my ex-wife, or bullied or threatened my ex-wife to tweet this out, and that they were going to leave it up because they know the truth. When it's not the truth. They are just lying to you. They're just fucking liars. But that's not even the point of this video. This video is because I did something very, very stupid. They've been calling me a liar and a manipulator for a really, really long time. And after talking to my friend at the FBI, after talking to a friend in PR, they made a suggestion, and that was to bait them and see what would happen. So I did. I had a private conversation with somebody I knew who posted on that message board, and I filled it full of tons of misinformation to see what they would grab a hold of. Now, I want to show you these receipts, but someone probably from that subreddit hacked into my Twitter today. I don't have access to it. As soon as I do, I'll link this video. I'll link all of this stuff and show you guys. But take my word for it, I told them all kinds of outlandish stuff. I told them that I was writing a book, which is not an entire lie, but I told them that I was swatted twice in December. I told them that that I dated a girl that was 43 years old for the last couple of years because I wanted to see what they would do with this information, and I just wanted to keep them busy. I wanted to bait them based on what my PR person said. They said, give them something to talk about. So I did. What they latched onto, though, I was totally surprised with what they latched on because they incriminated themselves so beautifully that I can't, if you have respect for these people after me showing you this, then I don't want you to have respect for me because I no longer respect you. Right here in one of the most upvoted posts on this entire subreddit, they show where they both doxed me, where they searched police records involving my address and my home information, and they have literally gone completely batshit insane. First up, to do this, they had to look up my private information, including my address, and that is doxing me. Then they deep dove all of these police dispatch logs. He literally says he spent the last 4 days going over these records. This is not a healthy behavior. This is not what a healthy person does. They searched through 4,587 records to look for my address, to try to catch me in a lie that, by the way, was from a private conversation that got leaked. That's how obsessed these people are. That's how dangerously mentally insane these people are. It's absolutely crazy. Now, he has since edited that post, but originally, in his original post, he listed the 3 dates that he did find that I did have visits from the police. And any idiot could then go to those police records, which are publicly available, and backwards engineer my address. That's why I'm saying I got doxxed, because any moron from that point could look at the date that he originally posted, look at the only welfare check of that day, and then 30 seconds later show up at my front door with a gun. That is a violation of Reddit policy. Reddit needs to deal with that, not me. I ain't dealing with that. But I hope Reddit does, because you can't do that. You can't post people's private information online. And they know that. They go right up to the edge as often as they can, but they try to stay under the rules with the harassment. This time they crossed the line, though. That's just pure fact. In fact, I checked Google Cache, and here that is, right here. This is what they did. They called the cops to get my personal private information and put it on the internet. And I know that now that I'm posting these days here, you guys can figure out what my address is, but thanks to them, it's already out there. So not much I can do about it now. So go ahead, show up at the front door if you need to. But by posting this, he violates Reddit policy. And more importantly, he violates me. This is not something that's okay to do. In order to bait them like this, I had to lie. I mean, they've been calling me a liar and a manipulator this whole time. And I decided that I would just embrace it. That's what I would do in order to see if I can give them enough rope to hang themselves. They played right into it. I probably should have done this years ago when this harassment first started, but at least I did it now. I feel like absolute dirt for having lied to you guys. It breaks my heart. I don't like doing that kind of thing. It sucks. It sucks. It makes me feel like garbage to have sunk to this level. But at this point, my career is over. At this point, my YouTube channel is over. Public perception about me is completely gone. So I had nothing else to lose at this point. If I lose you, one of the last things I have to lose over it, I'm genuinely sorry. I genuinely am. And they're telling me that I broke the law by lying about this stuff, so I might even go to jail. But if it was a way to try to save my career, I hope you can understand why I did it. If it was a chance to save my relationship with you, I hope you understand why I did it. This is completely out of character for me. It fucks me up having to do it. But here we are. That's the world I live in now, and you told me to grow a spine, so there's my spine. And then the craziest thing about it is that when you go to the subreddit right now, they'll tell you there's no way I was smarter than them. It's no way that I'm better than them. He lies all the time. That was just him lying, and now he's lying again to cover the lies. You can only cry wolf so much, guys. I mean, you got me this time. I absolutely lied about the swatting this time to try to bait you guys. But you say everything. You're going to even call this video a lie. That's how full of shit you are. And I think it's time that people stop believing your gaslighting, lying horse shit. That's what abusers do, by the way. That's how they manipulated you guys into all of this, by the way. When an abuser wants to gaslight you, what they do is they claim you're the gaslighter. When an abuser wants to abuse you, they claim that you are the abuser. And that's what these people have done. They wanted to attack me. They wanted to discredit me. They were doing it long before I got divorced, long before I said or did any of the stupid things I said and done over the last couple of years. But they have tried to lie to you and manipulate you into thinking I'm the liar. And who do you think is more likely to lie here? Me, the person who experienced all of these things and I'm telling you about them? Or the people who don't know me at all? My history in Southwest Virginia, my abuse is well documented. I have friends and family members who've come forward to talk about it. My ex-wife, my brother, even my sister has admitted to some of it online, and she doesn't want to be involved at all. I have the receipts, I have the facts, I have the truth, and all they have is a bunch of clips that they took out of context, and they were attacking me long before I even gave them one of those clips to use. When you take a look at this mega thread, if you haven't already, please use a critical mind. There's so much stuff on this that shouldn't even be open to criticism. Who I date, how I live my life, my weight loss, any of this stuff, none of this should be something that they discuss. They literally searched internet archives back to 2004, to the websites I published back in 2004, looking for things that they could take out of context and attack me with. Here they are talking about where I forgave my sister for molesting me and how I must be lying about my sister. Every single thing that they possibly can take and run with, they do. So much of this is such obvious bullshit that if you believe everything on this list, literally everything, then you must be one of the most gullible people in the world. And look, if there's one thing on here you don't believe, then I hope you have a critical mind for the rest of it. Because yes, I have made my mistakes. Absolutely. But most of what's on here ain't that. And if in your mind it comes down to my word versus them, then I want you to take a look at my 14-year history of work here on YouTube, where I've run charity streams, helped out small creators, when I would raid a small creator on Twitch every night, helping them get partnered, where I've given away money to fans, where I've done giveaways here on this YouTube channel, and all of the other good that I have done here. And compare that to any good that they've done, the lack of good that they've done, and the horrible amount of damage they've done, not to me, but to other people like Narissa, like Cosmo, all of the other people they have shit on over the years before I was even in their crosshairs. I think it's pretty easy to pick a side. And once again, does this excuse any of the stupid jokes I've made that could be taken as racist, as could be taken as homophobic, or something that could be taken out of context because I joke about suicide, I joke about my own molestation? No, absolutely not. When I compared these people to rapists and Nazis, even though these people are scum, they're nothing like a rapist, nothing like a Nazi. That's not something I should have said. I've said and done some really stupid stuff. And if you dislike me because I've said those stupid things, and you think those stupid things outweigh the good that I've done or the content that I create, then that's fine. I don't want you watching my content. I want you to go on about your life and enjoy it. But if you're one of these people that have been gaslit into thinking I've been a liar, I've been a manipulator, that I've made you do something you didn't want, that I took advantage of you, that I ever wanted anything other than to entertain you and inspire you to be a better person than I am and to do better than me, if that's what you think, then I hope that maybe you'll reconsider where you got that information from, and take a critical look at both that information and both of what I provided here today, and as well as the rest of my channel. And maybe you'll come back. You probably won't. I mean, this is a video of a desperate man who realizes he's got really nothing else to lose. So I finally decided to sink to their level. I hate myself for it. But, you know, when you get put in a corner, you do what you got to do to get out. Now I'm going to go think long and hard about posting this, because in order to post this, I have to publicly admit I may have done a felony. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. What a day. Also, if you know anybody at Twitter, reach out to them. I'd like to get my account back. Thanks.